in my domain. Got the whole crowd screaming out our name. It's a blowout, it's a hurricane. It's over before you know it. While you shaking, we're a dynasty in the making. We're the royalty. Now we're breaking down the enemy. Move over for the soldiers. Take a swing, I can take a hit. If we die, it's fine. We live for this. It's all for this. We're gonna stand on top with our hands in the sky. Gonna raise our cup to the stadium lights. For the glory, for the glory. We celebrate with the city tonight. Hear the hometown cheer, it's the ultimate high. For the glory, we do it for the glory.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here as we prepare for race number 7 of Season 4 of the NNSCRA Pizza Hut X Series. Last night we saw the debut race here in the 3 top-tier series at BumpDraftin Super Speedway. It was exciting, it was absolute mayhem at certain points of the race, and now it's time to find out what's going to happen here in the Pizza Hut X Series as these drivers for the first time take to this slightly over 2.5 mile Super Speedway. 30 laps of racing here on tap. These drivers had an off week last week, of course, with the Eldora Dirt Derby going on. Now we're getting ready to continue on our season as we are getting close to the midway point of our regular season. Ashlyn Boyd lines up on the pole position alongside of Chelsea Bowles. Both of these drivers, former playoff contenders from last season, and both last year were in the hunt for the championship in the season finale at Auto Club. Both drivers also still looking for their first win of this season. Ashlyn Boyd comes into this race currently 21st in points. Chelsea Bowles, who finished runner-up in the championship standings last year, 32nd in the points. Both these drivers could certainly benefit from a victory here tonight. Couple of teammates line up there in row 2. J Shelly, it's been a bit of an up-and-down season so far for him. He's 24th in points coming to this race. Seth Cole, of course, going to victory lane earlier on this year at Atlanta. He comes into this race currently situated in the 23rd position in points. This is definitely going to be an interesting race, too, in the fact that aside from what I said in yesterday's Truck Series race, the restrictor plate tracks really seem to cater to the underdog, the driver struggling in the points, and this is a track that is a super speedway. So will it hold true to that today? We'll have to wait and see. It made a liar out of me yesterday. Let's get that command.
Drivers, start your engines.
And what I mean by it made a liar out of me yesterday was I said that more than likely we were going to have a different race winner in the truck race because the likelihood of a repeat winner happening at a super speedway was slim to none. What happened? A driver that came in top 10 in the points and had a win already went to victory lane in the form of Oreo Pollard. So track made a liar out of me. Hopefully it doesn't do that again here tonight. Time to give you your top 10 in the point standings, though, coming into tonight's race. Presented to you by Golden Corral. Quentin Moore is your points leader, but only 2 points in hand over the current rookie points leader, Steve Morgan. A Baranauskas is 3rd in the points with Alex Gray and Chloe Erickson your top 5. A Navarro is 6th. Dougie Shears 7th. Garrett Sidner 8th. Our Daytona winner Ying Canario is in 9th. And Jessica Miles completes the top 10 in the standings coming into this evening's race. Our winner from 2 weeks ago at Texas, A Eisestein, jumped up 13 spots in the standings to 27th. That's where she comes into this race. So far, all of our race winners, Dougie Shears, Ying Canario, Charles Jackson, Justin Tucker, Seth Cole, Nathan Hudson, and A Eisestein are inside the top 30 in the point standings and all currently hold playoff spots if the season were to come to a close right now. Right now. But we could very easily add another driver's name to the list here this evening. We saw 4 wide, even 5 wide action in last night's truck race. What are we going to see here this evening? I cannot wait to find out. If you didn't tune into the truck race last night, if it's anything like the truck race, you are in for a pretty exciting event. Pace car is going to make the left-hand turn to pit road, and it is time to go racing. green flags in the air. We're underway at BumpDraftin Super Speedway. Let's roll. Gotta take these cars a little bit of time to get up to full song. And already they're testing the waters 3 wide there in the back. Nathan Hudson, J Yepez R, A Eisestein in that group as they're going to go 3 wide up here at the front. Look at Chelsea Bowles getting a big run up top side. She's going to try and take the race lead that way. J Shelly on the bottom. Pole sitter Ashlyn Boyd put in the middle, and it will be the inside line that prevails for the moment. Shelly's going to be out in front. And here comes J Qualls to the inside in the 27. Who's going to lead the first lap? Will it be Shelly up top? Qualls on the bottom. Looks like about half a car length. It'll be J Shelly leading the first lap of this race. Ooh, got a car on the wall there. Chelsea Bowles, and looked like maybe Mark Davidson may have gotten a piece of it as well. They're 4 wide already. Just completing lap 1, they're 4 wide with Hudson, Gray, Boyd, and Bowles at the front of the field. And now they're 4 wide, 3 rows deep, and get used to this. We had 4 wide all the way through the field for about 8-9 laps in our Truck Series race here last night. This is not unusual for this type of racetrack. The only thing that they have to be careful of is they cannot lean on each other here in the corners. Other than that, they were able to put on a pretty good show for the fans in the Truck Series race here last night. Looks like they're taking a page out of that book from last night's event. They're keeping it clean and green, but still 4 wide all the way through the field as Carson Gum with a big run on the inside now. Help from Ben Braley and Jordan Lopez there on the inside line. I almost said RJ Reynolds, casting my memory back to season 1. Carson Gum now firmly in control, and as soon as I say that, he opens the door down low, and Ben Braley's going to stick his nose down there. Ben Braley, a couple of weeks ago at Texas, came into the standings top 5, had a horrible run though at Texas and dropped all the way outside the top 10, comes into this race now 15th in the point standings and trying to recover after a hardship in the Lone Star State. And they're going to be 3 wide at the line. Ooh, who got that one? Was it Lopez? My eyes said it was Lopez, and they're leaning on each other there. Braley, Lopez, Cole Deaver in the 15, and now Eli Bright makes it 4 wide. We're 4 wide for the lead. Look at this. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, at least 8 rows back. We were 4 wide there for a moment, and they're still keeping it green. This is insane. Oh, and there they go! Alex Gray into the wall. Caution's going to wave for the first time here tonight. Oh, it was too good to be true. It was looking like they were going to keep it together, but just one little slip-up can have catastrophic events, and now here's a drag race to the start-finish line, potentially. Steve Morgan on the bottom, Eli Bright up top. Morgan has drafting help from Jackson. Bright has none. Who's going to lead coming to the yellow? Ooh, scoring monitor says it was the 12. Barely over the 60. And we got away with very few big ones in last night's race. I think the biggest wreck we had involved 6 drivers in the Truck Series race. That wreck, where it took place, could very well have swept up a number of contenders. We're going to look and see. There's a car on pit road. I think that's Nathan Hudson's 11. It is. It's like some right front damage on 92 of Joshua Hyatt. Damage as well for the 16 of Jake Rogers. Ashlyn Boyd's got damage. The pole sitter, Ben Braley, was also involved. That's the car right there we're focused on that I saw initially get out of shape. The 0 of Alex Gray. A couple of drivers back here that might have been collected. J Qualls in the 27. Chris Dalwerton in the new Full House, or Fuller House, I should say, sponsorship on his number 1. And Garrett Sidner also back here. Damage on Carson Gum and Kyle Langeland. We got some drivers coming to pit road, some drivers staying out. Maybe some damage on the 62 of William Brock. Z Flickinger also coming to pit road. Looks like he's got some damage just around the right rear wheel. A Navarro I saw on pit road. J Deaver. Saw right there the yellow car of Jordan Lopez. Some of these drivers might be pitting for a regularly scheduled stop, but I think a couple of them may be pitting for damage. And where did the 60 go? Did Steve Morgan pit? Oh yeah, Steve Morgan pit, as did a couple of others. And Morgan with a drag race off pit road there with A Navarro. Steve Morgan was running in the second position, decided to give up that spot to come to pit road. So Eli Bright's still the race leader, but that now moves Charles Jackson up to second. Third for M McIntire. Fourth is going to be J Jefferson with Chloe Erickson in fifth. We're going green this next time by, so we're going to quickly step aside and get a look at a replay of our first caution of the evening here at BumpDraftin. We're going to be using this camera a lot tonight because it's the easiest way to be able to see how the trouble breaks out, especially with them in four wide formations all the way through the field. And let's see where the initial contact's going to begin here. And boy, it almost looked like the zero didn't even turn. Up into K Langeland. There's where Carson Gum got involved. He's going to come down to William Brock and Z Flickinger. Oh, wow. N Hudson got clobbered by Jake Rogers in the 16. There's where the 92 Joshua Hyatt got involved. I wasn't really focused on the 20 of Ashlyn Boyd, so I don't know exactly how the pole sitter was collected. There's like a car upside down there. Is that Hudson? I think it is. Alright, let's go back to the 20 of Ashlyn Boyd, see how he got involved. Alright, looks like he might have maybe gotten into the 16 of Rogers. Let's see here. There's the caution, there's the wreck. Boyd goes low. Oh, N Hudson right down in front of his path, and then that's when Hudson got doored by the 16. And there is the 92 getting a piece of it. Tell you, a driver that got through that pretty nicely, and that was A Eisestein, our winner last time out in the 3. There you see her splitting the inside. Mark Davidson also doing a good job getting through, and I believe the 31 of Chelsea Bowles may have gotten a piece of that. 31 was slow anyway. Let's rewind again and see. Oh, yeah. I didn't see that. So our entire front row got involved in this one. Boyd and Bowles. Oh, there was contact there as well. Was that was one of the Joanna Atwood Motorsports cars. I think that was James Qualls. That white car got a piece of it. And yeah, there you see where Chelsea Bowles just got clipped. And yep, gets up into the wall with the left rear of her race car. So a couple of drivers we didn't know that got a piece of the action actually did. Bowles, Brock, Qualls, and N Hudson upside down. You can see the car pluming out smoke, and wow, nice miss there as well by a couple of former winners this season on the inside there. Ying Canario, our Daytona winner, and Justin Tucker, one of our winners from Bristol. So that's the wreck that puts us under the caution for the first time tonight. Let's go back for the restart. Lights are atop the pace car. We're going back green. The way that the cautions are set up here is the caution comes out, the pits are open the following time, and then the following lap we go back green flag racing, which means that drivers that stay on pit road to get repairs, they have to hurry to get back up to the tail end of the field. Ben Braley just now coming off pit road. Same for Rogers, Langeland, Alex Gray. There's Qualls and Hyatt, Ashlyn Boyd, Carson Gum, William Brock. They're all trying to hurry to get up here to the tail end of the field. Pace car is peeled off. Eli Bright's going to lead us to the green flag over Charles Jackson, M McIntire, J Jefferson, and Chloe Erickson. Green flag back in the air here on lap number 7. And restarting in 6th place is Quentin Moore, who came into this race as the points leader. So starting to see the 89 making his way towards the front. We know that Steve Morgan came to pit road under that caution, gave up a lot of track position, was running in the 2nd spot at the time of the yellow flag. So right now, Steve Morgan will have lost some ground points-wise to Quentin Moore, but if this thing goes green to the end and these drivers can't make it the scheduled 30-lap distance, drivers that did come to pit road under that yellow, like Steve Morgan, A Navarro, Jordan Lopez, this is going to play out big time in their favor. Look at them all fanning out here, trying the high line, the middle line, trying to see if they can find some speed. Boy, Charles Jackson thought about going right up against the wall, and he nearly was in the wall, as M McIntire is going to lead that lap in the Liberty University Chevy Camaro. Look at them all trying to migrate up to the top side. We saw in the truck race that if you can get some people lined up there on the high side, you can make the outside line work, so maybe that's what these drivers are trying to do. J Jefferson, though, he's going to try the old surefire way on the bottom. He's got Mason Wood and Jessica Miles there. Miles has her teammate Cody Llamas there as well in the 48. And it's not taking them long to test the waters. 3 wide, maybe 4 wide again. A couple of cars got the wall back there on the top side. Charles Jackson and Joshua Osborne. We should also make mention that after that caution, only one driver out of the race officially, at least to my knowledge, and that was the 11 of Nathan Hudson. And that is indeed the case. He's the only driver out of the race. Everybody else is still running and currently still sits on the lead lap, as it's 4 wide for the lead again. This time, teammates on the bottom. Miles, Llamas, they're going to try and go to the front, with Mason Wood, J Jefferson, and M McIntire part of the 4 wide formation in that battle for the lead. And now, battle maybe between teammates. Cody Llamas to the bottom. Jessica Miles comes into this race 10th in the points, Cody Llamas 13th, both having pretty strong starts to their seasons. And here comes Seth Cole on the inside line, trying to become a 2-time winner this season. We saw Oreo Pollard last night in the Truck Series become the first 2-time winner of that series this season. Seth Cole trying to become the first multi-win driver here this season in the Pizza Hut X Series. And now to the inside comes the 5 of Phil Parker. Think back to Aubrey Eselstein's win last time out at Texas. She was able to best Phil Parker for a majority of that race under green flag conditions. Parker ended up finishing the race back in the 20th position after not being able to complete the entirety of the race on fuel, but had a very strong race car nonetheless, so trying to get some redemption here tonight, as currently he is leading the way in this event. Christian Merrick Jr. now in second. Tried to get in front of his teammate J Shelly, not going to be able to do it at least this time. And oh boy, I thought back there that D Shears might get hooked by D Yepez, and it looked like the 7 was giving the 21 very much room. And now it looks like we may go 4 wide for second place. A Baranauskas to the bottom of the track. We haven't talked much about Baranauskas this season, but certainly worth mentioning here in this race. Only 10 points out of the points lead and comes into this race 3rd in the standings. So a very strong start to the year for the Delta Airlines Chevy Camaro out of William Brock Motorsports. As you saw, they caught Jake Rogers, and now they're all going to have to try and split and find their way around. And oh boy, J Shelly not in a good spot. Looks like Roger, well, where is he going to go? He's trying to go low, he's trying to go high, and boy, that really held up a number of drivers. Shelly and Yepez and McIntire, and now D Shears gets wadded up back behind all this. That splits the field up quite a good bit. Got about maybe 11, 12 drivers up in this lead pack now. A couple of them, notably, the 34 of Jordan Lopez and the 97 of A Navarro. Now, why would we focus on them? Keep in mind, they came to pit road under that yellow flag. So they are good to go a little bit longer on fuel than a number of these other drivers in this lead pack. So with that being said, if this thing goes green to the end, Navarro and Lopez would find themselves with a lot of good track position if they're able to stay out all the way to the finish of this race. We should also mention that that pit strategy did not work out for one driver, and that is Steve Morgan in the 60. He's not up here in this lead pack. Quentin Moore is. The only difference is Quentin Moore is going to maybe have to come to pit road. Morgan's going to be about 6-7 laps better on fuel than the driver he's trying to chase down for the points lead. Chevys 1, 2, maybe 3 if Cole Deaver gets by Jordan Lopez here for third place. All out of different teams. Michael Norman Motorsports entry Phil Parker leads the way. William Brock Motorsports entry A Baranauskas second. And Gardner Racing's Cole Deaver there in third. Although Deaver has a teammate behind him, the 89 of Quentin Moore, and then another teammate in the middle line there, A Navarro. So a big opportunity here for those teammates to work together. Cole Deaver, nice move there. Getting to the inside of A Baranauskas, but no help down there on the bottom line. They're all lined up top. Now here comes some help. Teammate to the rescue, Quentin Moore to help the 15. Got another slow car they're going to have to deal with here momentarily, it looks like. That's the 02 of Ben Braley. They already dealt with Jake Rogers, and now Braley, the next driver that may be a bit of a moving chicane for these race leaders. They're going to catch him here on the back straightaway, so for the most part, looks like they're going to be okay, although Braley's going to block the inside. That's going to kill all of Cole Deaver's momentum, along with Jordan Lopez. A couple of drivers caught up to this lead pack, Jessica Miles and Aubrey Eisestein. And then here's the second pack trying to catch up to the first pack, and they very well might be able to do that if they're able to get around Ben Braley without any issue. Braley now at the tail end of that lead pack. Now the second pack's going to catch him, as this first pack kind of looks like the fragments of a fired off grenade. Going to try and all wad back up. Battle for the lead is on though. A Baranauskas to the inside on Phil Parker. Neither driver with any drafts, so the shortest way around the racetrack is probably going to win out. Baranauskas will probably take the spot depending on what happens here with the 92 of Joshua Hyatt, and Baranauskas is going to be able to get by. So she will go to the race lead. Phil Parker is going to go around the outside line, so he'll keep second. And now they're still continuing to try and maneuver around the 92. Interesting if you think about it. Baranauskas got the race lead getting around a teammate, so you got to wonder if Joshua Hyatt maybe planned it out to be able to play a little bit of a pick for his teammate in the 2. But still the question of whether these drivers can make it on fuel, especially these drivers up here at the front who haven't been to pit road yet in this race, and we are just now past the halfway point. We had 3 cautions in our Truck Series race here last night. So far, we've only had the yellow flag wave once in this event. Phil Parker got a big run there down the back straightaway. He'll dive back to the inside for the race lead here into 3, but now here comes Lopez and Quentin Moore, A Navarro. Let's see if any of those drivers from the second pack have caught up to the first pack. Oh yeah, they have. Charles Jackson leading that group. Joshua Osborne, Chloe Erickson, Eli Bright, Cody Lamas. They're all up here now, trying to formulate into one big group of race cars. Trying to find the 60 of Steve Morgan. He's faded back even more, it looks like, or did I miss him? Oh, there he is. He's setting his sights on the 89 of Quentin Moore, but right now Quentin's running very well in the 3rd position. Actually, strike that. He's just gone to the race lead. And some help there from A Navarro. Now Navarro's going to look to the inside line for the top spot. Navarro was in the playoffs last season after a win at Las Vegas, looking for his first win of the year here. Oh boy! And trying to find some brakes as he nearly ran into the back of Jake Rogers. Everybody trying to split the 16, 4 wide there for a brief moment. Ooh, look out, Steve Morgan nearly ran him over. Doing a pretty good job dealing with traffic here though, being all wadded up in a pack. And now I think they just bypassed the 27 of James Qualls, and I think Qualls is now off the lead lap. It's Quentin Moore out in front. Are we under caution? I don't know if I just saw yellow lights on or not. Look here. No, we're still green. Quentin Moore right now trying to hold off Christian Merrick Jr., who was signed to Backmarker Motorsports this season. Christian Merrick Jr. comes into this race currently situated down in the cellar of the point standings, 39th. He won last year's season finale at Auto Club, at the time driving the 92 for William Brock Motorsports. Christian Merrick Jr., a former winner at a superspeedway back in, I believe it was season 2, when he took the number 20 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota to victory lane at Talladega, which would have actually been, this being the 2-year anniversary of that win, since this is originally supposed to have been the Talladega race weekend, but we end up swapping the schedule out, that track, for BumpDraftin. Now Quentin Moore going to have to try and channel his inner Dale Jr. because you've got two lines that are going to be working their way towards him. Inside line with Phil Parker and Jordan Lopez, outside line with Christian Merrick Jr. and Cole Deaver, and how they swap. They almost kind of did a square dance move there, changing their partners. Jessica Miles is now caught up to this group, and if they continue to race, you'll see some other drivers catch up. Canario up here, our winner from Daytona, our last super speedway stop. Trying to maybe go back-to-back in SS races. Then you got A Navarro there, A Baranauskas, Aubrey Eisestein, Eli Bright. Number of drivers that are trying to catch back up. The field getting split up after having to deal with slower traffic, which they may have to do in a little bit again. That's Ashlyn Boyd and Kyle Langeland up ahead, and they are just about maybe 10 car lengths ahead of the race leaders. So just after according back up together, they may get split up again. And we are getting into the less than 10 to go mark as well. So this is when we start to wonder, fuel, can all these drivers make it? I think Lopez can make it. I think Navarro can make it, because they came to pit road under that only yellow flag. But what about everybody else? Lopez to the race lead. And now going to have to try and get by Ashlyn Boyd, who's going to yield the inside line. It's going to hold up Quentin Moore. Nope, Quentin Moore is going to force a hold the outside, as Lopez also makes his way by the 77 of Kyle Langeland, bringing Cole Deaver along with him. The driver that really lost out on that one, it looked like, was the 25 of Jessica Miles. She kind of got held up a little bit more than I think she wanted to be. Okay, Canario there in the 6. Comes into this race 8th in the, or make that 9th in the point standings. Had a great run a couple of weeks ago at Texas. Finished out that Texas race runner-up to Aubrey Eisestein. Trying to get his second win of the season as a rookie, and maybe with that second win, all but lock himself up a spot in one of this season's 12 playoff positions. A couple of late bloomers here. One of them, the 70 of Joshua Osborne, now up here inside of this lead pack. He's currently in the 7th position. Don't count him out. Remember, it's been a long time since we've had a Joanna Atwood Motorsports car go to victory lane. Winless all last season. So far this season, they haven't found victory lane. But I gotta think right now, the odds are in favor of a Gardner Racing machine going to victory lane. They've got the 15 of Deaver, the 89 of Quentin Moore, and the 97 of Angel Navarro all up here in this lead pack. If they can work together, they have a good shot of one of their drivers finding victory lane. It's been a while since we've seen Cole Deaver go to victory lane in a Pizza X Series race, now that I think about it. The teammates will battle side by side for second. Moore and Deaver. Canario going to offer the drafting help down low, and if Quentin Moore can get a big enough run here in 3 and 4, he may try and take the race lead away from Jordan Lopez. They're going to have to deal with Jake Rogers again in the 16. Jake Rogers, a fellow Ford Mustang to Jordan Lopez, so will he play any alliances here with a fellow Blue Oval driver? Lopez swings high, everybody else goes there as well. Doesn't look like that really helped anybody. They all did a good job getting around the slower Lilly Diabetes Ford Mustang. Now Quentin Moore to the inside line. Quentin Moore, a Hershey's Cup Series driver last season. Finished low enough in the point standings that the team lost their charter. So Quentin Moore decided to head down to the Pizza X Series again, where he had actually made his first NNSCRA start. And now in line to maybe be able to get his first Pizza X Series win, but looks like he's not got any friends downstairs. Upstairs at the Blue Ovals, Canario jumped up to help Jordan Lopez, and oh, look at this. Oh, I thought they were going 4 wide there with Baranauskas, Merrick Jr., Osborne. and Canario. New faces popping up here at the front in the closing stages of this race. Phil Parker is back. Ryan George is now up here. Charles Jackson, Eli Bright, and right there in the middle, the Noss Ford Mustang of Chloe Erickson is now in the mix. Another slow car they're going to have to deal with. That looks like it's the Alex Gray number 0 machine. Hopefully they'll get around him okay, because this is some great racing up here at the front. Uh-oh, where's he going to block? Where is he going? He's going to the middle. And, oh, look at Canario trying to get the outside line going around him. Can't do it. They're 4 wide, trying to make their way around the 0. And here comes Christian Merrick Jr. with help from A Baranauskas. I don't know who Alex Gray was trying to help. If he was trying to help his teammate Jessica Miles, it didn't work. Jessica Miles was up in the outside line. That's the line that Alex Gray blocked. That lap was led by Christian Merrick Jr., but we still have 5 laps to go, and here comes Ryan George to the bottom. We saw his teammate Jordan Lopez up leading this race for a good portion here, last few laps, and now Ryan George showing the way, making the transition from Chevy to Ford this year, aligning himself with Kev Shearer Racing Tech, and trying to get his first Pizza Hut X Series victory of his career. But now here comes Angel Navarro with a big run. They're 4 wide for second, 3 wide for the lead. Navarro's going to go to the point. Help from Charles Jackson, another slow car, 2 slow cars, Braley and Joshua Hyatt. They're going to hold up the outside line. The inside line's going to get a big run. Navarro to the lead, Jackson to second, Yepez to third. It's like J Jefferson to fourth, and where in the world did M McIntire come from? He's now up to 5th. Oh man, and that inside line's getting held up a ton now. The top 5 gonna break away. Then you got 6th place Phil Parker. And here's everyone scrambling from 7th on back to get around the K Ford Mustang. Lopez and his teammate Ryan George going to get away from there. Tucker does as well. Erickson, Bright, Eisestein, Merrick Jr., but that really hurt one driver in particular, and that's Quentin Moore. Change for the lead. Charles Jackson to the front. Jackson, a former winner this season, went to victory lane at, I believe it was Bristol Dirt, one of the dual races. Trying to become a repeat winner this season. Jackson, of course, no stranger to battling for a championship. He was in the playoffs for the Tax Slayer Truck Series last season. Look up here at the front now. Remember we said there was a good chance of a Gardner Motorsports car going to victory lane? Or Gardner Racing car? Now there's a good chance of a Michael Lauren Motorsports driver going to victory lane, because you got the 9 and the 5. McIntire and Parker up here. This time by, when they hit the line, it will be 2 laps to go. It's 2.5 laps to go here on the back straightaway. Jackson the leader. Diego Yepez, former Truck Series driver, in second. He's going to drive it down to the bottom. Oh no, he's coming to pit road! As is Phil Parker. Christian Merrick Jr. as well. And this is what I was saying about would drivers be short on fuel. Now we know that some drivers like Lopez, Navarro, Morgan came to pit road under that only caution. They're a couple laps better on fuel. So if these drivers can't make it, right here, the 34 and the 97 could be your battle for the race win. That's Mason Wood in the 18. He just made a pit stop and is returning back to the track. Ashlyn Boyd, I think, may have just done the same. And now the question of, does anybody up here in this lead pack have to come to pit road, or are they going to try and risk it and stay out? Jordan Lopez, he's got nothing to lose. He's got a little bit more in the tank. He can go for it. Same for Angel Navarro there in the 97. That's exactly what they're going to do. None of the top 6 coming to pit road. Got more slow cars up ahead. Jake Rogers, Chelsea Bowles, as they're double wide, 3 rows deep. Lopez goes low, Jackson goes high. They split the 16 once again. Jackson's a little bit better lined up with M McIntire, but looks like Lopez may win out. Where's Chelsea Bowles going to go? She's going to yield the inside line. That's going to hold up the outside line. No, it's not. Jackson finds a way around the outside. Still finding a way around the outside as he'll get around the 27 of J Qualls. Jackson trying to close up the gap between himself and Lopez though, but he may not have time. Through 3 and 4 for the final time, Jordan Lopez. 3 car lengths in hand between himself and Jackson. He's going to get his first win of the season. He'll take the checkered flag here tonight at BumpDraftin Super Speedway. Came into this race 12th in the points, had a struggling finish last time out at Texas. But tonight will go to victory lane, and it is the second time in 2 seasons that the 34 car has gone to victory lane, and could very well be the second time the 34 will be representing for Kev Shear Racing Tech in the playoffs. What a battle there at the end, slicing and dicing through lap traffic. And I think Charles Jackson could very well be out of fuel after crossing the line in second place. But you gotta go back. The call of the race, I think, was when they made the pit stop under that only yellow flag. It gave up a lot of track position, yes. But Lopez was able to make it back up. And then when it got to the closing stage of the race, when other drivers were struggling to get enough fuel into their intake, Jordan Lopez knew he was good to go all the way to the end and was able to not have to lift, was able to drive that car down to the bottom of the track and take the win here tonight. That, I think, was the call of the race for himself as well as probably for the 97 of Angel Navarro that got them the good finishes that they had here tonight. So Lopez will most definitely move back up into the top 10 in the points with this win. Charles Jackson gets Rookie of the Race, finishing in second. I don't know if this will move him into the top 10 in points. He was 16th in the standings coming to this race. We'll have to see. Ryan George going to finish there in third, so a pretty good outing for a couple of the drivers out of Kev Shear Racing Tech. First and third for Lopez and George. Matt McIntire was kind of a late bloomer there at the end. He's going to get fourth place, and J Jefferson kind of popped up into the top 5 in the closing stages to get fifth place. Angel Navarro will finish in sixth. Justin Tucker was 7th. 8th for Eli Bright. 9th, Chloe Erickson. James Shelley popped into the top 10 in the closing stages to finish in 10th place. Then it was Yin Canario 11th. Aubrey Eisestein, after her win 2 weeks ago, gets 12th. Cole Deaver 13th. A Baranauskas 14th. And 15th with Jessica Miles. Your top 20 completed by Seth Cole, Dougie Shears, Steve Morgan, Garrett Sidner, and Diego Yepez. More importantly, drivers that could not make it on fuel from Diego Yepez on down, and one of them was Quentin Moore, who finishes in 22nd. Morgan finished in 18th, so it looks very much like we could have a new points leader heading into next week's race. If my calculations are correct, I think it's going to probably be Steve Morgan, but I'm not certain. It could, and this is just with quotes around it, be Chloe Erickson. It's going to be really close, I think, between the 46, the 89, and the 60 for that points lead heading into next week at Kansas. You look on down through the remainder of the finishing results, though, and you can see a number of drivers finished off the lead lap, most of them due to getting lapped under that long green flag run to the end. Chelsea Bowles, Mason Wood, Alex Gray, Kyle Langeland, James Qualls, Ashlyn Boyd, Ben Braley, Joshua Hyatt, Jake Rogers. Those all slower machines due to our only caution of the evening, which only took out one driver officially to finish out tonight. 42nd place, Nathan Hudson. But what a race that was. This has been quite an exciting race weekend, no doubt about that. And can't wait to see what's going to happen with the Hershey's Cup Series drivers here tomorrow night. But hope you guys enjoyed tonight's race from BumpDraftin Super Speedway. If you did, be sure to give this video a like. Subscribe to become part of the crew today. We've shown your full finish results. These are your rookie points and your overall points heading next week when all 3 series will be heading to Kansas Speedway for some good old mile-and-a-half action. But till then, Hershey's Cup Series action from BumpDraftin coming up next. I've been Seth Cole. You've been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.